Hey! So I wrapped up the install on your TXQ Kanan saber. So here's the hilts. It's got kind of a brushed aluminum finish with dark green anodized shrouds and grips back here. Got your control box here with a control card. Got your two switches on the side over here. You got your main switch there, auxiliary switch over here. And there's also the green and red arrows, which I've illuminated as NeoPixel accents. I also modded it a tiny bit so that you can actually remove the emitter. So I like to hold it basically where the Suba is. Just unscrew it. It comes apart in two, like so. You've got one set of chassis connectors there that interfaces with the NeoPixel connector and the emitter. And then you got the accompanying flat PCB that completes the connection once you screw it in. So let's screw that back on and then get to the chassis. So to access the chassis, just unscrew the pommel down here. All the way. And then you'll see your chassis here with a 20mm bass speaker. So just slide that out. Set that off to the side. Hopefully it doesn't roll off. So here's your Proffie chassis in dark gray. You got your Proffie 2.2 board. Got your battery holder over here marked negative and positive. Got our chassis connector, which interfaces with the switches, the accent LEDs in there, as well as the NeoPixel connector in the emitter. We've got a kill switch. It says in Arabic on and off, so currently it's off. And your 20mm bass speaker. So let's put a battery in here. Here I have a protected 18650 battery. It's originally a Keep Power branded battery, which I've rewrapped in red. So to insert the battery, the flat side, the negative, goes towards the negative side over here. I like to do the negative side first because I did design a little lip there, which helps hold in the battery a little bit tighter. So just pop that in, negative side first, raise the chassis, compress the negative spring, and then just slide it into the positive. And then flip the kill switch to turn it on. So currently I think I cycled over to an OB1 font. So over here, I'm not sure if you can see, it's a little bit dim, but there is an Edison LED filament strip in there in blue. So to just kind of add a little bit of blinky action to the chassis itself. Got swing on and twist off. So let's insert it into the actual saber itself. Yeah, so you can actually kind of see the blue LED through the holes from the chassis connector. So to slide the chassis in, you want to make sure that the flat PCB is facing in. You don't need to orient it or align or anything, just slide it in freely. Like so. And then once it reaches here, the chassis will stick out about that much because that part of it kind of resides within the pommel. So just screw in the pommel all the way in. Let me show off the button LEDs. So currently I turn on muted. So with the arrows, the green and the red arrows, I have it styled so that it mimics Luke's control box, the red and green arrows on that one. So those are just the two styles for that. So it kind of blinks back and forth in a pattern. You've got your main switch over here. Turn that off. Press that to turn it on, as well as the aux switch. And up here you have your blade plug with an illuminated NeoPixel connector inside. So let me remove the blade plug and show that off. So currently I have only one blade retention screw in. That's pretty much all you need. There are 2 other blade retention screw holes there, but if you screw in both of them, it actually counteracts and works against each other, so one of them isn't more than enough. So there you got your illuminated NeoPixel connector. So let's put a blade in this thing. Here I have a short kind of dagger test blade that I use for demos. It's a 1-inch blade. Slide it down the emitter. You also hear that sound. So my NeoPixel connector that I'm using also has blade detection set up. So I got that configured as well. So once you hear that sound, push the blade all the way in and then just screw in the blade retention screw.
Enter volume menu. Volume menu end.
So one thing to be careful of is because of the placement of these 2 plungers or these 2 blocks, if you press it near the middle, you might actually end up actuating the auxiliary switch as well. So I like to press them pretty much near the edge of the switches. You got blaster blocks. You got your smooth swing. You got your accent swings. You got your flash on clash. And then to cycle through the fonts, just make sure that saber is off and then press the auxiliary switch.
Cal Kestis,
I sense. Remember, a Jedi can feel. Kenobi. I am told it is the dark saber.
So there's about 15 or so default fonts that came from the factory from TXQ. I included a free one from Kyberphonic, just the battle font from, I guess, from Battlegrounds. So that's a default, the free Kyberphonic font that I added. You can also go through color change, so just hold the main switch and then tap the auxiliary switch. Sorry, it's the other way around. Hold the auxiliary and then tap the main switch. And then once you're in the color change mode, you rotate the hilt physically. Just go for a green, and then to lock it in, just tap.
revert.
Let's go through that again. Hold auxiliary, tap main. Then to lock it in, tap the main switch. Like so. So there you have it. There's your Kanan hilt finally installed with Proffie, removable chassis, as well as a removable emitter. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I'll send the config over to you, maybe some instructions on how to get set up with Proffie. But otherwise, yeah, let me know if you have any comments, inquiries, questions. But if not, I'll get this packed up and sent to you as soon as possible. Thank you.